Ever wonder how the piano became, well, the piano? Today, we're digging into the story of one guy who was way more than just a musician. He was the architect, the entrepreneur, and the visionary who really gave this beloved instrument its voice. You know, whether you're a total pro or you just know how to play chopsticks, every single time you press a piano key, you're tapping into a revolution that was started by just one person. And that person, his name was Muzio Clementi. People gave him this huge title, the father of the piano. So over the next few minutes, let's find out if he really deserved it. All right, so to really get how he built the future of music, we've got to go all the way back to his beginnings. Okay, so Muzio Clementi was like the textbook definition of a child prodigy. Born in Rome, he was a total master of the harpsichord, which was the big keyboard instrument back then. I mean, his talent was so off the charts that when he was just 14, some wealthy English guy basically made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Pack your bags, move to England, and just do music full time. And that one trip from Italy to England, it ended up setting the stage for a massive musical revolution. To really get Clementi's genius, we first need to talk about the limits of the instrument he grew up with. There was this fundamental problem that he was, well, destined to solve. So this was the harpsichord. Now, instead of hammers hitting strings like on a piano today, the harpsichord had these little things called quills that plucked him. Yeah, plucked him. You can kind of think of it like a giant mechanical guitar. But here's the thing. This super elegant instrument had one giant flaw. It didn't matter if you gently touched the key or slammed down on it. The volume was exactly the same every time. For a composer, that's like being a painter who can only use one shade of blue or one shade of red. It just crushed any chance for real emotional expression. And this really gets to the core of the innovation. So the new instrument was called the pianoforte, which literally means soft, loud. And by swapping out that plucking thing for tiny hammers that actually struck the strings, well, everything changed. That one little shift from plucking to striking unlocked a whole new universe of dynamic range and emotional possibility. It was a game changer. So, okay, you've got this new, kind of weird, unproven instrument. And while most musicians were like, nah, I'll stick with what I know, Clementi, he saw the future. I mean, he was a true early adopter, right? He looked at the piano and didn't just see a different instrument. No, he saw a way to tell completely new kinds of musical stories. Stories full of quiet whispers and huge, powerful roars. And he didn't just play it, he became its biggest champion. He started writing music that was specifically designed to push the piano to its absolute limits, basically proving to the whole world what this new machine could do, from these super fast, lightning-quick runs to deep, soulful chords. So, the big question is, how did one guy do all this? Well, he didn't just play the piano, he built an entire world around it. Yeah, he came at this from 4 different angles, all at the same time. He wasn't just an artist, he was a teacher, a businessman, and an engineer. And this is where his genius really shines, in how he combined all these roles. So as a composer, he pretty much wrote the rulebook for modern piano technique. As a teacher, he shaped the next generation of musicians. As a publisher, he started his own company to get this new music out to as many people as possible. And get this, as a piano maker, he was literally in the workshop, getting his hands dirty, designing and building better and better pianos. See, it wasn't just about the music for him. It was about building this whole self-sustaining world for the piano to thrive in. And this all-in, 360-degree approach, it created a legacy that is absolutely still alive today. In fact, you could argue his work is even more relevant now than it was back in the 1800s. What's really incredible is that the foundation of how we learn piano today, it was laid by Clementi more than 200 years ago. His teaching methods, his finger exercises, his whole philosophy, it's all baked right into the DNA of modern piano education. Seriously, think about it. If you've ever taken piano lessons, there's a really, really good chance you've played one of his pieces. His sonatas, they're like a rite of passage for students. So this isn't some dusty old history. It's living, breathing music that's still shaping musicians every single day. I mean, his impact on the culture was so huge that when he died, he was given one of the highest honors you can imagine. He was buried in London's Westminster Abbey, right alongside kings, queens, legendary poets, and world-changing scientists. That's the kind of company he was in. And if you go to the Abbey, his gravestone makes his legacy crystal clear. It says it all right there in stone for everyone to see for eternity. Muzio Clementi. called the father of the pianoforte. You can't get a better summary of his life's work than that. So next time you think of Clementi, don't just think of him as a composer. Think of him as the architect who took a brand new invention and turned it into the powerful, expressive, and beloved instrument that we all know today. You know, Clementi's story just goes to show you that behind so many things we take for granted, there's often one person, one visionary architect. And that makes you wonder, right? Whose hidden stories should we dig into next? Let us know what you think.